Welcome back to the Hitting the Hardcourt podcast. It's your host from the windy city of Santa Cruz, not Chicago. It's Josh. And joining me again from the East Coast, fresh out of hitting the books and not hitting the hardcourt,
Yep.
Fonz. It's All
Yep.
Star Weekend, man. Are you excited? I mean, I asked you last week, but you don't. You still don't sound excited. I'm not sure if it's because you have studying to do, if you have classes, or if you just gave up on
Yeah.
basketball altogether.
I mean, I have an accounting exam next Thursday, so most of my weekend will be spent studying for that. Um, I mean, see, the thing about the All Star weekend in general is that it's become too casual. Now, like, I don't want to sound like old man being like, "Oh, players should hate each other all the time." What is friendship? Um, but yeah, it's kind of true. Like,
You
guys
think
are
so? You say it's like a mid-year, mid-season
Yeah, I mean
vacation.
it's fair because they need to relax, and they all know that like saving your body for the playoffs is like what everybody wants to do. But there's no more. It doesn't feel like there's any more competition. There's no more Larry Bird, just like doing the 3-point contest and like his warm ups. You know, I mean the dunk contest could be great, but like most of the time it's a disappointment.
I mean, I know what you're saying, and it's probably because you don't have that player v player rivalry anymore. I mean,
Yeah,
when you have two teams that either see each other or that saw each other perennially, like Bird and Johnson, or
exactly.
Jordan and Stockton, or Olajuwon, whoever you want to put in the West Coast block there. You don't have that anymore, and so you don't have players that want to see each other at what could be the one moment in the middle of the season where they can test their skills.
Exactly.
And yeah, you're right. It's not exciting. I mean, the most exciting thing, and we're going to get to this in a moment, Russell Westbrook, Durant,
Yeah,
but they play in the same conference. So,
exactly.
but
Like
it's not.
if Durant went to Washington or whatever, and the hate was still so strong. Like it would be cool to see like Durant v Westbrook in the All Star game, but I feel like now, if anything, we'll get like Durant v Westbrook in that. Who will like actually try in the All Star game? We know that Russ is going to try because he's just a crazy person, but like I don't think anybody else really cares.
This might be a look of the downfall of what the All Star game might be. Hey, kids, look forward to taking this weekend off from basketball because there's no more rivalry. There's no
Exactly,
more
but I mean,
love.
like, how cool would it be? Have you heard of the Ice Cube thing? So
The 3v3 league,
yeah,
yes.
exactly. So why can't we have like 3v3 or 1v1 competition instead of the All Star game?
You know,
Like you have, like
I
it could
was
be like KD, Steph, and Draymond versus Westbrook, Steven Adams, and the rotting corpse of Kyle Singler.
I originally was thinking about what we were really looking forward to for this weekend, but that sounds a little bit more exciting. Let's talk about that for a second. 3v3. Yeah, I mean, yeah, the league that Ice Cube is putting together, it's definitely sounds like it's happening, and it's featuring some all-star
AI is playing. Like,
retired players. Yeah, AI is playing, and hopefully he'll get a decent bit of change out of that. But if we're talking about current players right now, how exciting would it be to have a mini 3v3 tournament, sort of like King of the Court style?
exactly. Like you have, so what you could do is you have the standings. Each team fields there's three best players or the three players they think will play best together. So you have like the Warriors versus who's last place? Suns?
Suns have
Yeah, Suns.
the eighth
So it'd be
seed.
like yeah, or it could be yeah, or you give the Warriors a bye. So it's like Kawhi, Aldridge, and Manu Ginobili versus Devin Booker, T.J. Warren, and Eric Bledsoe. Like, how great would that be? Or like even just a 1v1 tournament. Like, I remember in I think it was the might have been the All-Star game or the Team USA basketball camp, and they had like videos of, I think it was like Paul
King,
George versus Kevin Durant
King of the
1v1.
Court. Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just do
It's
that. Like, that's so much more engaging.
this is an actual thing. If anyone doesn't believe that this can be possible, Red Bull had an invitational several years back where they invited players from all around the world to participate in what was called the King of the Court competition. And it's a 1v1 tournament, and you battle all the way to the top, and then eventually you battle to the finals, which was held in San Francisco. Um, and Alcatraz, and it was an amazing thing. I mean, of course, at that time, players were playing and buying for $1 million, but if you were to translate that to the NBA, maybe a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it'll be kind of unfair if like the Cavaliers won or something like, and we get a top 10 draft pick.
Not now, if you think about it. I mean, Kevin Durant is arguably the better player right now than LeBron. I mean,
Maybe.
who's really putting up the numbers? Who's the one asking for help? I mean, of course, it's mostly because of the personnel around each individual player, but I could see where Russell Westbrook would go up against Curry, then go through Harden, then end up playing against Durant in the finals, or in sort of like a Western Conference Finals matchup, and it'd be representative of the team. And LeBron James would fall to Kevin Durant, and that would be probably the. I would probably look more forward to that than I would this All-Star game.
Yeah, right. Like, just imagine you have John Wall versus Isaiah Thomas in like the semifinals of the tournament. Like, and Scott Brooks in the Zach Lowe podcast talked about how like one of his drills in practice is like he goes up to Bradley Beal, like, pick 3 guys who can't guard you, and they just play. Like imagine the salt that could be started with a tournament like this, or it could be like, they said like, so each team sends the player that they think will play the best, and other teams and like their opponent can select somebody to defend their player. So it could be like the Warriors would choose KD to represent them, but then if they're playing Phoenix, like Phoenix could choose like Anderson Varejao. Actually, he's been cut. Like Zaza Pachulia. It's like, you have to defend Devin Booker. Like, that would be cool.
So you're saying that teams would have the chance, the lower seed would have the chance to pick the higher seed's opponent.
I don't know. I'm just like shooting random ideas.
Yeah, that would be a little bit more interesting. It would sort of force every single player to participate, because not everyone participates during All-Star weekend. Some people just kind of go to show up because it's required of the NBA to at least be around there. But then you can take the other 2 days off because, I mean, Zaza Pachulia is not going to be in any part of the All-Star game whatsoever. So there's no sense of him being there. Same thing for maybe Zach LaVine. He shows up, he's injured, but he sits there for the dunk contest, and then he gets to go back to Minnesota to start off to treatment again for the rest of the team's week. I kind of wish that I could just email the commish right now and say, hey, Hitting the Hardcourt has a great idea for improving your All-Star weekend and ratings, because right now it sucks. This will probably bring back both the rivalry and the excitement towards that weekend. Let's try to get that. Let's try to get his email. What do you think?
Silver's email? I mean, he has way more important stuff to deal with, like, a certain terrible owner in a certain city in northeastern America.
which we will get to in just a second. No name dropping, but
Yeah.
I do like landing names. Like James.
I mean, like, he just like has a band and just like it's a general all around terrible person.
Let me ask you this question. We're talking about James Dolan right now. We're talking about the Knicks. How bad is it that you had to wait for a player to get injured in order for someone who has gotten multiple All-Star votes, multiple, even a couple times he started, getting onto the All-Star team, and you had to wait until a player got injured for your player to even be considered?
I mean, about Carmelo.
So we're talking about Carmelo Anthony now. How bad of an organization are you running at this point?
I mean, I don't think like, Carmelo even wants to be there. He's been through so much this year. Like, I'm pretty sure he would much rather like either go to I don't know the Caribbean and chill, or like shoot another wonderful video with Vice. Shout out to Vice, by the way.
I
Great,
feel
great videos.
I feel a little bit sorry for him considering his career. I mean, if you look at the coaches that he's gone through, Jim Boeheim, then George Karl,
Exactly.
then the rotating door of the New York Knicks, Mike D'Antoni,
Yeah.
Derek Fisher, and I don't even know who's coaching the Knicks now. Is it
It's Hornacek,
yeah,
Jeff
Jeff
Hornacek.
Hornacek?
Yeah.
I respect Hornacek,
Yeah.
but I just don't think that Carmelo Anthony has ever gotten a coach that has allowed him to spread his wings and develop an offense where he was best suited.
Or like at the very least, like have a team around him that'll work.
We warned Carmelo to come to Los Angeles years ago. Oh
I
well.
mean, like I'm pretty sure Lakers fans would still like take him.
We still we'd still take him at a discount though. We're not giving up our core four.
Oh come on! Like imagine if it was like Larry Nance and a second round pick for Melo.
Nope.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Hey, Larry Nance Jr. is exciting.
Lakers. You guys are way too excited about everyone you have. Like none of them are like. They're okay.
I think. Well, you got to understand, we're excited to have basketball in general.
Yeah, but like
we're excited to see these kids have fun because they have fun. It is frustrating when they lose, but it's different when these guys lose because their expectations are so low now, finally, versus, you have someone like Carmelo Anthony come in and everyone just expects for us to have a minimum of a 40 win season, and that's where it becomes hard.
Yeah.
And we want to just maintain our expectation level. Just let us be subpar for a little bit.
Yeah, but I really just don't look forward to when the Lakers become decent again and all the Lakers fans are like, oh my God, we're so good.
And we'll know it's because we stuck with the high-flying Larry Nance Jr.
Probably not, but
Maybe not, but who knows? Who knows what'll happen in the next 2 or 3 years? We might have someone that was a late draft pick just sort of blossom.
Exactly. Like Ivica Zubac. Dude is 19.
He's 19. He's getting traded. He's not getting enough minutes. He's getting traded.
Don't trade Zubac. Like
he's getting traded. He's probably getting traded today. But we're going to get to actually trade rumors in just a few moments. But I want to round out with this before we take a quick break here. We were talking in the first part of the podcast about who you got for the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. But forget the dunk contest because we already know it's just going to be the Aaron Gordon show. What I want to ask you is this: if you were down 2 and you needed to win this game, it's game 7 on the line. which one of the 3-point shooters not named Klay Thompson would you have take that 3-point shot?
I want to be a homer so badly. Because like CJ is my guy, and I wanted to succeed in everything in life because he's an amazing human being. Nick Young? No. Not named Klay Thompson, right?
Not named Klay Thompson.
It's Kyrie. I mean, that's the obvious answer. You know, he's like nobody else there is like as good a shooter as Kyrie, aside from Klay. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll let you guys marinate on that, and we'll be back for the second half of the Hitting the Hardcore podcast.